We are ready to go racing again, fellas. Got the trailer loaded. The old RV's loaded up. Man, these things are so nice to have. Got the ACs nice at the racetrack. Your own bathroom, your own kitchen. Like, we paid well under what it cost of a pickup truck is for one of these. You can find them pretty cheap, around 10 to 15 grand. But anyways, we ain't been racing since like February, so we gotta knock the rust off this thing. Now, I'm no engine builder by any means, but I've been through 2 Ford motors since the build series I did. First one, I did a stock rebuild, went out for the clash, had an exhaust valve rocker back off on me. I think that's kind of been part of when the machine shop machined my heads for my valve springs. They nicked my rocker studs and they kind of just chased it with like a die or whatever. And I think on one of those, that little set screw didn't have enough material to like lock on. And I think that's what caused the exhaust valve rocker to back off. Doing that with the gapless piston rings, kind of hydrolocked the cylinder and hurt the rod. Night 2, I went out, I was in a B main against Kenny Wallace, and the motor let go because of detonation. Okay, so detonation happening on a hurt rod. Yeah, motor let go. So that week I got a $800 long block from a buddy of mine that was fresh from the machine shop. Had fresh hyper pistons in it. Everything, the crank was turned 1010, had all new bearings, rings. It was ready to go. So I put my heads on it with new valves in it. I went out next race and blew that motor same fashion. Detonation on the same cylinder, cylinder number 3. So I was like, oh, well, it's definitely not the way I'm building these things. It's the way I'm wiring these things. So if y'all remember from, I don't know, middle school, high school physics class about radio frequencies and induction and that kind of thing, well, I relearned that stuff the hard way. So running these multi-fire plug wires, they produce a lot of RFI, radio frequency interference. The reason why they're so good is because they travel a lot of power and they don't have a whole lot of ohms, internal resistance. Other plug wires, you'll see higher ohms because they have more insulation. Okay, it helps keep some of that frequency in. So it was jumping around, causing weird things to happen, especially my MSD box. On the first motor, I had my chip set at 7,200 RPM. I was turning 76 to 7,800 RPM. The second motor, I set the chip down at 68 and I was turning like 72, 7,400 RPM. So like the box is being real weird. And I got idle, it was fine, but like at higher RPMs, it would just have like a weird detonation issue. Now I've tried different timing. I've tried a slew of different things between the 2 motors. But on this third motor, I've completely changed everything. So on this third motor, I have a different plug wire. These are Outlaw Motorsports plug wires. Go talk to my buddy Ryan Heskett up there. But we got a new distributor. I've got a new box, and I've wired it a little different. My biggest issue is because I have my coil wire. It's a long 42-inch coil wire. And my little distributor wire that goes to the MSD box, I had them zip tied together. Now that was the source of my main problems, having my distributor wire and my coil wire like together. Talked to Mullins and McGonigal, and they said that's 100% what it was. You need to have one going down the other side of the intake and one going on the other to keep them very, very separate. Even probably put your coil outside of your foot box. Another thing that I learned is do not have your power lead to your MSD box at your starter solenoid like everybody and their mom does. I called up MSD. I was like, hey, like it's like completely ignoring my chip. I'm having a bunch of weird detonation issues. Like, what do y'all recommend? He's like, well, how do you get it wired? So I told him, he didn't really say nothing about the distributor wire and the coil wire. But what he did said is make sure your power and ground go to the battery like the instructions say to do. And then because it could pick up noise from your starter solenoid and kind of do a whole bunch of weird things. So along with that, I have a new ignition switch, starter switch, and master power switch in there. I've heard those can kind of do some weird things with electronics. Pretty much every wiring in this car is new and rerouted and cleaned up. So hopefully we don't have any issues. I also rebuilt the carburetor this past week. So shaking down a brand new motor with a rebuilt carburetor. I'm sure we're gonna be doing a lot of troubleshooting. But this one here is a 306. I got it as a virgin block. I bought it for 200 bucks with brand new scat forged rods. So we've got DSS forged pistons, forged rods on a stock crank. I had everything polished and balanced. Got new cam bearings, free plugs, all bearings and seals and rings are all brand new. Still the GT40 heads with Ferrera stainless valves. Ferrera does a military discount for anyone wondering. That military discount's like 40 or 50%. So I got all brand new Ferrera stainless valves in the heads. Same Victor Jr. intake with an AED 750 carb. Everything else is pretty much the same top end. Well, we got everything unloaded. Got the car sitting here. It's a little early to put some heat in the motor yet, but let's go look at the track. You got your snacks, your water. What do you think, dude? You rolling this track in? Making some tire changes, but we had a radiator line blow. This one slipped off because it's like this chrome one. My buddy Cool Engineer and Austin Cool needs to send me proper fitting so I can put his on. So we just had to soak up that mess. Other than that, car feels good. Feels good to get back in it. Got Carson helping us. Just came up, said, "Hey, I'm ready to help." count that as a win. Just some body work, no engine damage. But thanks to Mark and RJ and the wife and baby for coming out and helping out. That was fun, battling for fourth there at the end. Like, I don't think I had the gear to really run the bottom, but I didn't have the car to be up in the slick. So, I mean, if I just kept the momentum right going through the bottom, I felt good. Like, I felt like I was running good, but I'm learning like the power curve of this motor, it's at the top. Like, I don't feel like the power doesn't come in until like 6,300 RPM or so. So, yeah, a little bit of damage, but I count that as a win. This door is a little got. We'll just repair that bad Larry. And then we got the little chunk lid, but other than that, it ain't too bad. Drinking us some cold ones now. All right, now that we got it in the sun, we can further assess some damages. Just a little bit of decking, some T-bar work. Looked like it tore the decking down there. But we got the wheel, gosh darn it. It's holding there though. It just got the wheel pretty good. And this chrome just flakes off of there. But we'll just repair this bad Larry up and new body bracing. I think it'll live another day. Other than that, it really ain't much. This panel all messed up. We'll fix that. I don't know if that's from too much travel or when that happened, but oh, not too bad. Well, everything is washed, put away, tires clean. Got to do tire prep and of course start inspecting the car. I inspect the car on Sundays if I have time, but definitely Monday, so I can order stuff or have time throughout the week to go pick up something. Because there's been times where I miss something and it's like Thursday night and I got to pay $50 to overnight something to go racing that weekend. But a couple key takeaways is gearing. Gearing is a big thing. We changed gearing twice. No, one time. I just did not have the motor to get out of the bottom of the corner. I just had too low a gear in it. We definitely need to go up, but not as high up as I was in like hot laps. So I was half throttle and I was like 6,500 RPM and I got my chip set at 68. So, but with gearing right, you're looking at RPM, but you're also looking at wheel speed. Especially in the slick, it's if you have a higher gearing, yeah, you're not using all your motor, but your wheel speed, when you get out of the gas, get back on it, it's able to catch up and generate traction. And at least that's kind of how I understand it. But definitely gearing is something that we're going to test and tune with. And also, we got to figure out how to get this left front back down on the ground. We're digging too hard on the right rear. Car's super comfortable to drive that way, but it's not. It doesn't feel fast. It feels like I'm lacking. I need it to lean forward and just drive, not just lay back and kind of be lazy, if that makes sense. So we're going to do some digging and investigating and look back at some previous notes and talk to some people, because I mean, I really don't know what I'm doing. Still learn how to drive a modified from a late model, and I mean, I have yet to spin this car out, and I feel like I need to do that in the next hot lap session so I know really where that line is. I've been close to spinning it out, but I don't know. If y'all have made it this far in this video, I really appreciate it. We'll be back maybe next weekend at Southern. They're running for IMCA points, or Tri-County. They don't run for IMCA points. They just run the IMCA rules. So we'll see. I don't know where I'll be or when I'll be there, but I'll let y'all know on our Facebook pages. So like I said, if you stuck it out this long, I really appreciate it. And go ahead and leave us a like, a follow, and a comment down below. I'll see y'all on the next one.